first started off as just a project. Like it was just an after-school project with me and our old vocalist, and we just pretty much came up with the idea. You know, I pitched the idea. Hey, you know, what if we combine like elements of like traditional metal and hardcore with new elements of like trance and like electronica and stuff. We just kind of started playing with it. It really wasn't that big of a deal, you know. It was just one of those things that it was kind of like a hobby, you know, just like after school, like just working on songs and stuff. And we ended up coming up with an actual album. Like we were like, hey, you know, let's start working on the album. We worked on an album for like a good 3 months. We came out with Everything Perfect on the Wrong Day. We just put it up. We found like an easy method to put it up on iTunes and then just threw it up on MySpace. And like we weren't really expecting much from it, and it really took off. It was just insane, like what happened. And at that point, like our old vocalist or whatever didn't think like he didn't want to do that as a career, but I did. So he ended up going and doing softer stuff, which he wanted to pursue, and then I ended up pursuing the band. We ended up making a full piece because I really wanted to make it like a full sound, and we got a bunch of guys from our local scene, and also like did tons of tryouts, like looking for a new singer. And
this band In Theory from Texas apparently broke up at the same time that Brack left. So I think Lee just shot them a text message saying something like Scott eats In Theory or something. And then I guess they were all down, so then it went from a guitarist, bassist, and drummer of that band. So it's a full band minus vocals. And they had a bunch of tryouts in Texas and all over the country, really. I kind of just was browsing on MySpace, and I saw an ad. It said, "Do you see yourself as the next singer of this band or whatever?" I had a lot of free time in New York City, and there's a bunch of little tiny studios and stuff all over there for like $10 an hour, $20 an hour type thing. So I was like, man, might as well, you know, not doing anything else. And they sent me the song "Giants in the Ocean" with no vocals on it, and wanted me to do that. So I did that, but that's pretty much just me mimicking Brack. And then they sent me, did that, they liked it, and they sent me another song, which is going to be on our new album. It's on MySpace, Long Walks on Short Bridges is the name now, but and I just did some dummy vocals over that, and then and they all randomly like conference called me one day and were just like, hey, I want you to be the singer, blah, blah, and then next thing you know, they bought me a plane ticket, and now I live in this guy's spare bedroom, and that's how I came into play with the band. I wasn't in the band at the time, but there's, from what Lee and
it's just random.
There's no background to it. Not that I think we started. We were gonna start just saying every time someone asked about Sky's Airplane, we were gonna make a new thing about it. Like, oh well, you know, what was one that I think it was Wolf from The Chariot told me to say the movie Langoliers by Stephen King, where like they're flying and it's kind of like this guy eating an airplane. They go in some time warp type thing. That was going to be one of them. One of them was we went to an elementary school or something and asked a bunch of elementary school kids to name our band, and they came up with it. There's no real background to it. I think they just kind of said it and it stuck out. And people hear Sky's Airplanes like, whoa, what's that? You know, like instead of saying, you know, murdered hollows and dead bodies, you know, like something stupid like that. I mean, come on. Death and blood is in every band's name nowadays anyway.
It's more of like an imagery type thing. It's not. We just really wanted something unique. We really didn't want anything that was just generic at the time, so that just kind of stuck. So, like ever since we were like even a two-piece, like Equal Vision has been talking to us. They've been flying down like ever since we were in school still, and we just still kept in contact with them. We were like, oh, you know, we lost a singer. We were like, oh, well, you know, like, you know, contact us like when you guys find it, like get everything resolved and stuff. And then, you know, we got a new singer. We would send them the demos and stuff. And they just kept up with us. And they were just really they're really determined and patient with us, which gave us made me feel really good about the actual label, instead of just some label being like, oh, well, you know, like they just lost their bassist, so we're gonna cut their funding.
Yeah, we're coming to see you and then shoving a contract in your face saying sign this, and then 2 years from now you're making records you don't even want to make anymore, and then, you know, you're not recouping any profits off it or anything, which isn't what it's about, but I mean, you gotta live too, you know.
Yeah.
The EVR has been so good, it's been unbelievable, and I mean, we got a lot of offers and stuff. We played a lot of showcases for a lot of labels, and I mean, they pretty much met every point that we wanted in our contract. They met us with, met halfway with us at least, or gave us pretty much everything we wanted or needed. And I mean, they're just like awesome guys, most genuine people I've ever met. I mean, plus ask anybody that's ever been on EBR, you'll never hear a bad complaint about Equal Vision. I mean, as opposed to some other labels that I'm not going to talk about, but